in addition to the fact that I am attracted to men. You know not to try to set me up with that nice girl at church, which is what happens if you're a 35-year-old man who is single and you don't tell people that you're gay. One of the reasons that it's important to me to be open about being gay is that if I don't say that I'm gay, rumors happen anyway. People will talk about it. People will talk about it in the church. And I would rather be honest than be the subject of rumors. And I would rather not have those awkward moments where people are trying to set me up with their best friend who's, a wonderful girl and she's single. And I would rather guys know why I'm not comfortable, to be honest, going into the bathroom with them and standing next to them at the urinal with no dividers. I mean, there are a lot of practical things that I have to take into consideration as someone who's gay. And so for me, having a single word that I can say that communicates all of that information very quickly is important to me. So that's why I use it.
So I understand all the practical ramifications there, but when we use the term gay Christian, isn't there, and you say, the organization you represent has all sorts of different perspectives. There are people who contradict each other in their views, and I'm not sure how you hold all those folks together and things like that. But when you use the term gay Christian, how is that, in your mind, different than if more men in the church were honest about their problems with lust? They're identifying themselves as lustful Christians. Well, I mean, if I'm a lustful Christian, shouldn't you not, and you're 35 years old, you don't want to set your nice friend up with him either, for even better reasons, actually, come to think of it. It just seems to me that in the church, I was just in a church, I think I mentioned to you in an email, I was just in a church, where as soon as I got to the church, I spent an entire evening over dinner with a fellow there who experiences same-sex attraction. And I was very thankful for the hours of conversation we had, but he doesn't use that terminology of himself for the very reason that it communicates something beyond that. Are you open? Let's just go with that first, and I'll have a follow-up question. Wait, so we'll have time.
So, first of all, one thing is that I don't typically, or at least I try not to refer to myself as a gay Christian, as if that were sort of, one thing, you know what I mean? Like, I consider myself to be a Christian who is, yes, also gay, but also white and male and 35 and American and, But there are a few things that are different between using the word lustful to describe yourself versus using the word gay. Lust is a sin. To lust is a sin. To commit adultery is a sin. So if I were to call myself an adulterous Christian, adultery is a behavior that is itself sinful. Being gay, as it is used today in America, and this may not have been true several decades ago, I'm still hopefully young enough that I can get away with saying I wouldn't know. But as it is used today, being gay does not connote that someone is sexually active. If you watch movies on television, if you go to any high school today and ask kids what does it mean to be gay, it's very clear that while gay people might be having sex, the word gay itself does not connote that they are having sex. So even if we are, even understanding gay sex as sinful, saying I'm gay is not the same as saying I'm having gay sex. It is saying these are the attractions I have. So it's different from lust or adultery or something which is itself a sin. There's also another, there are a few other things, and I have 1 minute. How do I get them all in? But very quickly I'll say, one of the other big things to me, one of the most important reasons to me, is that I feel like I need to stand in solidarity with the other folks who are in the same position. Young people today who discover they're attracted to the same sex identify as gay. Whether or not you or I or anyone in this room thinks that's the right word for them, that is the word they use, that's the word they know, that's the only word they've heard growing up to describe those folks. If the only people out there in the world who identify themselves as gay are not Christian and live a life that is not Christian, that is the only image they see that is available to them. If I identify myself as gay and other people, like Wesley Hill, who recently wrote a book called Washed and Waiting, published by Zondervan, about his life as a Christian who is also gay and has committed himself to lifelong celibacy. If people like us don't identify ourselves as gay, those kids, when they realize that they're gay, they don't have any role models. If we do, they look to us and say, hey, the fact that I'm gay does not mean that I can't be a Christian and live a holy life.
All right, we'll turn it back over to Justin to begin asking questions for Dr. White.
Gosh, I was so busy answering now I forgot what I really wanted to know what your next question was.
And I hope I'm not too old to forget what it was by the time we get through this.
So let me ask you this then. If you were in my shoes, I understand that you would certainly not engage in a same-sex sexual relationship. And I understand that you might not use the word gay to identify yourself. You might use other words, or you might not tell anybody what you were going through. Do you think that in addition to those two things, there are other things that you would do differently, that you would recommend to people in my position that they do differently?
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say in my response. Was I think there is a deeper understanding of what it means to die with Christ and to live for Him that is the only answer for anyone in that situation or in a number of other situations that would preclude them from experiencing what people that we would call who have a normal life experience. For example, I have a friend, I actually know two people, I actually know more than that, but at least have gotten to know two people who are just extremely physically disabled. And they never complain. They never